Please read the Sanskrit shloka and the translation.
Shakuntala ji, you please read the Sanskrit one. I'll read the translation.
Narayanam.
Narayanam.
You all have to repeat it.
Narayanam.
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 Namaskritya.
Namaskritya.
Naram.
Naram.
Chaiva. Narottamam.
Devim.
Saraswatim. Vyasam. Tato. Jayam. Udirayet.
So before reciting, so the translation of this verse is, before reciting this Srimad Bhagwatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto the Nar Narayana, Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So we have been discussing from the third canto of Srimad Bhagwatam. Very interesting incident when Mahatma Vidur, he met the great sage Maitreya. So I want to recap a little bit. I want to ask if somebody would like to participate actively, share something. In the previous session, we talked about Vidura, who Vidura is, and why he was strict according to Krishna's plan that he should leave Hastinapur and go to different places of pilgrimage and acquire spiritual knowledge. So why did Krishna do that? Why did Krishna trick him in such a way that he had to leave Hastinapur and he should not participate? He should not have participated in the warfare. So why did Krishna do that? So does someone remember?
I think he did that to basically to protect the Pandavas, because he thought that if he takes part in the war, and he would definitely, if he's fighting from the side of Duryodhana, he would definitely kill the Pandavas. Yes. So that's why he wanted to protect them. So indirectly, he asked them to just go on a pilgrimage.
Yeah, the first part is right, Vaishali. Thank you very much for sharing that. But Krishna did not directly ask Vidura to go to visit places of pilgrimage. He through his Maya, he arranged in such a way that Duryodhana insulted Vidura. And Vidura could not take that insult. He could not tolerate that. He felt so painful, so hurt, and so disappointed that in the presence of his brother Dhritarashtra, his nephew Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana insulted him. And Dhritarashtra did not say anything to Duryodhana. So then Vidura said there was no point for him to stay there and keep on tolerating those insulting words from Duryodhana. And he left. He gave up his bow and arrows, his quiver he kept at the entrance of the palace of his brother Dhritarashtra, who was the king at that time, Hastinapur's king, and he left. So he took that as a blessing in disguise. Then he got an opportunity to go and meet so many sages. Who was the first person Vidura met? And after that, he came and met Maitreya at the bank of the Saraswati, the river Saraswati. Who
Uddhav,
did he meet before meeting sage Maitreya?
Uddhavji. I think Uddhav.
Very true, Shakuntalaji. Yes, yes. And he met Uddhav and he got the information from Uddhav that Kaurava's side, all the soldiers were killed. Pandava's side also, everybody was killed. Only the 5 brothers Pandavas were left. And Ashwathama, Kripacharya, Kritavarma, they were left. They survived after the war. They survived. And then Vidura wanted to get some spiritual knowledge from Uddhav. And Uddhav advised him to go and meet Maitreya. And Uddhav also did not tell him on his own, because that was the instruction given to Uddhav by Krishna. Because when Krishna was about to leave his body and go back to his Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, spiritual world, so at that time he gave instructions to Uddhav, and when he was talking to Uddhav at that time, Maitreya Muni also arrived. And then Krishna told Uddhav to go to Badrika Ashram, and whatever knowledge was parted to Uddhav, whatever knowledge Krishna gave to Uddhav, and he told Uddhav to share that with Maitreya. Because Krishna knew that later Vidura will come to that part where Maitreya was staying, and then Maitreya can share that knowledge with him. So this was like a disciplic succession. The knowledge was passed from Guru to his disciples. Right? So this was the arrangement made by Krishna. So initially when Vidura met Uddhav, when Uddhav told him about Krishna's departure also, then Uddhav could not speak. His voice started choking, throat or choked, and he was crying profusely because he could not tolerate the separation from Krishna. And then he told Vidura that Vidura should go and meet Maitreya. Before we proceed, I want to ask if someone would like to share, according to your understanding, that how did Krishna leave this planet? What happened? The Krishna's dynasty, that Yadu Vamsha and Bhoja Vamsha, they fought with each other, right? Because they were cursed by the sages, so they fought among themselves and they killed each other. And how did Krishna leave this planet? What happened to Krishna?
He was shot with an arrow in his toe by what was his name? I'm forgetting the name.
Yeah, by a hunter.
Jara.
Hmm.
I think Jara, right? I think it was Jara. Yeah.
Yes. So now see here, I think in one of the sessions we talked about it very briefly, that generally nobody dies, if any arrow is shot at the foot.
Give me some, where is my
Or even
Bhagavad Gita? Which we brought?
in the leg.
Edo.
Hello? Like nowadays also, if any criminal is running and police is chasing that criminal, so initially the police will shoot the criminal on the leg or the foot so that he doesn't die, but they can capture him, right? So by shooting any bullet or any arrow also on the leg or the foot, generally people, they don't die. So Krishna wanted to bewilder common people, making them think in that way, be under that kind of illusion, thinking that Krishna also was just like a normal human being, and he also was killed by a hunter when hunter shot an arrow on his foot. But actually Krishna planned in that way. Then he used that excuse and then he left the planet. So Uddhav, he shared with that this information with Vidura, And after that, Uddhav said that he also will leave very soon. He'll go to Badrika ashram and meditate as the instructions given to him by Krishna. And then whatever knowledge Vidura wanted to receive, he could go and approach Maitreya. Maitreya Muni was quite qualified and capable of giving him that knowledge what Vidura deserved. So when Vidura went and met Maitreya, now here Shakuntala ji, if you can put that shloka on the screen, please. Yeah. Can anyone read this translation? Can help to read the translation, please? Vidura said. Anyone? Shakuntala ji, Varsha ji? Please read the
So-
translation.
Yeah, I can read the translation. Yes, Vidura said, "O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please, therefore, give us directions on how one should live for real happiness."
So now see the proper etiquette Vidura followed. He wanted to get the knowledge about the Supreme Person. Now he put forward this question on behalf of all human beings, on behalf of us, especially people in Kali Yuga. Right? So he did not directly put that question asking about Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's features, his activities. He did not ask directly that question. First, he asked, what are the common questions which bother common human beings in this world, in this material world? That's why if you see in the last sentence, please therefore give us directions. He's not telling Maitreya, please give me directions. Right? So when he is using us, is plural. That means on behalf of the human beings, he is asking this question from Maitreya. He's not asking only on his behalf. Otherwise, he should have said, please give me directions, right? But he's saying, give us directions for all of us. This is the nature of a devotee. A devotee does not only think about himself or herself. He thinks about everybody in the society. What is beneficial for everybody in the society? So how Vidura is starting his question, he's putting forward the question. In this world, everyone is engaging in fruitive activities to attain happiness. That's the nature of every human being, right? We have been working day, night, so much endeavor we do. What is the purpose of this hard work? What is the goal? Why do we endeavor so much? What do you want to achieve?
True.
Anyone? What
Happiness.
is the purpose of hard work?
Everyone
Happy-
to
Yes.
achieve happiness.
Everybody wants happiness.
Yes, everyone is looking for happiness. Everyone is looking for peace, right?
Yeah.
Many times, when we have these kind of satsangs in people's home, so people come up with these kind of answers: happiness, peace, these kind of common things people have in mind. And Prabhupada defined happiness in a very wonderful way, very sublime, very subtle way. He said happiness means absence of distress. That is happiness. This material world is full of distress. So only when we don't have distress, we don't feel miserable, then only we feel happy. Otherwise, the happiness is very short-lived. The duration of happiness is very, very short. It cannot last for too long. Because the place, material world, Krishna himself said, it is dukhalayam. In Bhagwat Gita, Krishna says, it is temporary and it is a place of misery. So if the creator himself is defining, telling us about the qualities of this material world, who has created this world, Krishna himself, he is saying like this material world is full of misery and it is temporary. So it is not a wise thing to look for happiness. The goal of human life is to be freed from the bondage of this material world. Varshaji, you had sent me some questions. I think this is the appropriate time that we can discuss. You had asked about some kind of differences between different lokas, right, Varshaji?
That's right. Yeah, I was saying, so we would, it'll be nice if you can tell us the difference between a Swarg Loka, Saket Lok, Golok, and Vaikuntha Lok.
Correct. Anyone knows about it?
I can try.
Yes, Shakuntalaji.
No, no, I don't have idea. Yachna ji, Yachna.
So
Krishna has
very
actually said.
no, I no, I can just try because
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
in a very briefly, Swarglok is where Devi Devtas reside, and
Yes.
Vaikunt is where the Aishwarya version of Krishna is there. You know, Aishwarya wala jo Krishna ka wo hai जहाँ पे वो rule as he is as a ruler.
Vishnu.
And Saket, yeah, Vishnu याद है. So
Char
Saket
Bhuta.
is Ramchandra ji ka in the form of, he is there in the form of
Correct.
Ramchandra ji. And what was the fourth one? Sorry. Golok.
Golok.
Yeah, Golok is like, you know, ultimate. जहाँ पे वो कृष्ण एकदम वृंदावन वाले स्वरूप में है. And it is like above everything. There's nothing beyond that. Like all
Very
the
true.
blissful. Yeah.
Very
That's
true. Very
yeah. Thank you.
Now, see, in this material world, there are three different levels, right? Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. When we chant the Gayatri mantra, so we say these three words, right? Om, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Correct? So Bhur is the lower planetary system, below the Earth planet. Bhuva, the Earth planet. And Swaha, Swargaloka. ये तीन लोक है ना?
Yes.
So broadly speaking, there are three different levels. So these three different levels, but when we talk about the lokas, there are 14 lokas. 6 Swarga lokas, 7th is the Earth planet, Mrityu loka, and below Earth, 7 Narka lokas. So these are the three different levels. Now, most of the time what happens, people, they only have desire to go to Swarga loka. If someone goes to Swarga loka, then does it mean that that person got mukti?
No. No mukti.
Why not?
Because स्वर्ग लोका में जाके आप अपना जो भी पुण्य है वो आप वहां पे स्पेंड कर लो. जब वो सारा आपका फिनिश हो जाएगा क्रेडिट, then you have to come down to the earth and live again. तो जन्म मरण चलता रहेगा.
Correct. You're right. Absolutely right.
Based on your punya you will get स्वर्ग लोका, but then एक टाइम आएगा जब वो सारा एग्जॉस्ट हो जाएगा and then you have to again come back on the earth. ये मुक्ति नहीं है, मुक्ति मोक्ष
So that means if someone is promoted to Swargaloka, elevated to Swargaloka, from that he cannot be liberated. उसको वहां से मुक्ति नहीं मिल सकती है.
Yeah, I think mukti only manushya janam mein hi milti hai. I mean, we only have the capability. Even the devtas yearn for this manushya janam. And this is what I.
Why that, Yachana? You're right, but why that?
because that is limited. Like you don't have the powers to, that आपके पास वैसी powers हैं, you can enjoy there. आपके पास बहुत सारे आपकी जो senses हैं, that is like multi-million fold times. But ये भगवत प्राप्ति का, it's not there, like in that whosoever is there in the Swargloka.
Yeah, what you said is right, but it's not a question of power, Yashnaji. Sorry about that. It is about the desire.
Yeah, I mean, like they cannot, even if they want, they cannot. Like not that power wala power, like they do not have that capability, or also, yes, they don't desire there. Even if they desire, they cannot have it. If they are, until and unless they are in the Swarglok, they will have to come here.
Yes. Now, see the practical example I want to share with you. In big cities like Hong Kong, even in Mumbai, also many buildings, very, very big buildings. Other places also, Dubai, wherever you see big cities, when they have multi-storied buildings, supposing a building is about 70 floors, right? If somebody wants to go to the 55th floor, now there will be 3 lifts, supposing, for example, I'm sharing with you. One lift goes from ground floor to the 20th floor. Another lift goes from the 21st floor to the 40th floor. Then another one goes from the 41st floor to the 70th floor, or the 60th floor, you can say that. And after that, there is another lift which goes to ultimately to the 70th floor. Now, if someone wants to go to the 55th floor, he takes the lift which goes from 21st to the 40th floor. He can reach up to the 40th floor, but to go to the 55th floor, he has to come down again on the ground floor. Change the lift, take the lift which goes from the 41st floor to the 60th floor or 70th floor. Then only he can reach to the 55th floor. Right? Many buildings, they have this kind of arrangement, special arrangements. So the lifts go to the specific floors only. So the concept is taken from our Shastras. In Shastra, it is said, very rightly you said, Yashnaji and Shakuntalaji, people who get elevated to the Swargaloka, after that, when their punya, pious activities account is exhausted, then they have to come down to the earth planet in a Manusha form. Generally it is Manusha form. And after that, if they do the sadhana bhakti properly, devotional service, then they qualify to even cross over the Swargaloka, go to the Vaikuntha Loka. There are so many innumerable Vaikuntha planets because Krishna takes so many forms, and each form has his own Loka, right? Like Lord Ramachandra, what's the name Yashanaji said? The Loka of Lord Ram?
Saket Lok.
Okay.
Saket Lok.
What's another name of that Saket Lok? What's the name of the Dham of Lord Ram? It's Ayodhya, right?
Ayodhya. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the Vaikuntha planet named Ayodhya or Saket Lok. That is Lord Rama's Loka. So Lord Rama's devotees, they go there. They get liberated, they go there. People who worship Nrsimhadev, they go to Nrsimha Loka. People who worship Vamanadev, they go to Vamana Loka. People who worship Lakshmi Narayan, they go to Vishnu Loka. And people who worship Krishna, the Supreme Person, that's the topmost Loka, Golok Vrindavan. It is above all the Vaikuntha planets, top of all the Vaikuntha planets. And what's the meaning of Vaikuntha? All these planets, all these lokas of different Vishnu Tattvas, Krishna's different incarnations, they are called Vaikuntha planets. What's the meaning of Vaikuntha planet? Vaikuntha. What's the meaning of Vaikuntha?
So
Anyone?
it's without kuntha, like with no frustrations, like kuntha with.
Yes. Kuntha means anxiety, frustration, right? Disappointment. So the place which is without any anxiety. Vai means without. So that is Vaikuntha. So all these planets are Vaikuntha planets. So people who go to Swargaloka, they don't get mukti because Swargaloka also is in this Bhautik Sansar, material world. It's not any Vaikuntha planet. Lord Indra's Alkapuri, the kingdom of Lord Indra, Swargaloka, the kingdom of Swargaloka. So that is in the material world. It's not Vaikuntha planet. Lord Indra gets anxious so easily. He's always under anxiety. The demons should not attack me. They should not attack my kingdom. So Devatas also are under anxiety. Because that all the Devatas lokas, whether we call Surya Loka, Chandra Loka, all these lokas are in the material world. So if anyone gets elevated due to the pious activities, punya work, punya karma, they can go to Swargaloka. But once their account of punya karma is exhausted, the person has to come down. Now from Swargaloka, how do people come down to the Mrityuloka? Anyone? How do the living beings come down to the earth planet, to this Mrityuloka, so that they can get nice human form and they can perform devotional service and become qualified, so that at the end of their life they can get liberated, mukti. Then beyond Swargaloka they can go to Vaikuntha planet. Depends on which form of the Lord they are worshipping, कौन से भगवान के कौन से अवतार में उनकी आस्था है, and according to that they can be liberated. They can go to that Vaikuntha planet. So how do the living beings come down from the Swargaloka to Mrityuloka? Would anyone like to share? Yes.
उनका पाप पुण्य, उनके स्पिरिचुअल गाइड उनको डायरेक्ट करते हैं, एंड देन एक अप्रोप्रिएट वूम में वो सोल एंटर होती है और जन्म.
How they come down?
इससे ज्यादा नहीं पता.
They take shelter of the rainwater. These living beings, they take shelter of the rainwater, and through the droplets of the rainwater they fall on the earth. And then the different trees, when they absorb that water, then these living beings, they become the part of the tree, whether the leaves or the seeds or the fruits or flowers. And when human beings consume those fruits, flowers, leaves also from the trees, then the transformation takes place. Those living beings, they again in the human body, they take the shelter of the sperms and eggs. And then when the egg is fertilized, they are born as human beings. So this is the way the cycle goes on, right?
Sharma ji, can you please elaborate on that a little bit? I'm not getting that.
The living beings from Swargaloka, when they come down to the Mrityuloka, they take shelter of the rainwater.
Okay.
So Lord Indra is responsible, the king of the heavenly planets is responsible for the rain, right? Rain department is handled by him. So he makes arrangement in such a way, the living beings, they take shelter of the rainwater. When the rainwater falls on the earth planet, the trees suck up that rainwater. And the living beings, they are in the subtle, very subtle Atma form, we cannot see. So they become the part of different parts of the trees, and those different parts of the trees, when they're consumed by human beings, and of course some parts, some fruits, some leaves are consumed by animals. So according to their karma, if they don't deserve to be born again as human beings, after their pious activities account is exhausted, Then animals eat them, and in the animal's body, they take shelter in the animal's body in the sperms and eggs, in the form of sperms and eggs. And then they are born as animals. But who come into the body of human beings, because human beings consume those parts of different trees, fruits, leaves, etc., as I said, plants. Then they take the shelter in the human bodies, in the sperms and the eggs, and they are born as human beings.
Hmm. That's interesting. Never heard of this.
Yes.
Totally
See,
new.
all these things are explained in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavatam, also in Skanda Purana, Padma Purana, these things are explained. In the Bhagavatam, when we come to the part, where Lord Kapila shares this information with his mother, Devahuti. Kapila Muni was Lord Kapila was the son of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. So he shared this information with his mother, how a living being takes shelter in the sperm of a man, father, and then it's released in the womb of the mother, and then how the embryos form. This explanation. Now see, our Vedic science, Vedic culture was so refined. A son is giving this information to his mother. How a living being is formed in the womb of a woman. Right? Now, unfortunately, in our society, these kind of topics are not discussed in the family, amongst the family members. What to speak of, siblings, even what to speak of between the parents and the children, even amongst the siblings also, these topics are not discussed. So this knowledge is not shared properly. It's not spread properly. Otherwise, Lord Kapila, Krishna's incarnation, he's sharing with his own mother. So there was no hesitation, because the whole science is so pure. This topic of procreation, the union between man and woman, the whole creation is based on that. Right? And if the Lord has made that arrangement for procreation, man and woman should unite, and then the new life comes into the world. If it was so disgusting or so sinful, why would Krishna arrange it that way? So when it is meant for procreation and it is used for procreation, it's pure. It's called love. Right? That's why we say Kama Dev. Right? Kama is not a demon. Vasana is a demon. But Kama is not a demon. Kama Dev. Right? So only when that love gets converted into lust, then that's a sin. So this whole information is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Does it make sense to you, Vashaji? Yes.
Yes,
Anything
it does.
else you want to add? You want to add something?
So I was not aware of this, so I wanted to understand this.
I hope I made the point clear.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anybody has any other question?
You said it is written in Srimad Bhagavatam and Skanda Puran, and one another name you took, the third,
Padma Puran.
Padma Puran. Who said
Yeah.
Padma
Sorry,
Puran?
Shakuntala ji?
Padma Puran किसने किसको सुनाया है?
See, the whole conversation, I think it starts with between Brahmaji and Narada Muni.
Fine.
And also Suta Goswami, the prime disciple of Vyasadeva. Suta Goswami is narrating these Puranas to Shaunaka, etc., 88,000 sages at the bank of the Ganges, the place called Nimasharanya. So this Bhagwat Puran also, originally it was spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, and Suta Goswami was present there, and he heard the whole thing, and word to word, he narrated to Chaunaka Rishi 88,000 sages at Nemasharanya when these questions were asked from Suta Goswami. So this is the disciplic succession. Yes?
Okay.
Any
Thank
other question?
So Acharya ji, like as you said, the latter part I understood. So as you said, the devatas, once their all the punyas are exhausted, they are the arrangement is done by Indradev, and they are set in the form of a raindrop, and they fall down, and things happen later on. So this is all set, like this is all decided already. Ki abhi ye, like this, it will become a tree or a plant or fruit or something, and then this fruit will be eaten by this person, and then the sperms and eggs will be converted. So this is all decided, like already, like any other human soul.
Yes. Yes.
Same as that. Okay.
Correct. Correct. So see,
Okay.
the decisions are made. What kind of form a living being will get is based on the person's karma.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So see, many
Thank
times,
you.
it's good to think you raised this point yesterday, because many people, even amongst Indians also, this is a belief system of mainly from Christianity. They say that we came to this world because we wanted to experience something, and we decided to come to this world, and then we decided to take certain form, to be born in certain family. The decision is not entirely up to us. We may have the desire, but if we don't qualify to be born in certain family, then we are not allowed to be born in that family. So if it is everything was based on the living being's decision, if the living being had that authority, that liberty to decide where he or she should be born, then nobody would like to be born in a very poor family. Nobody would be born in a deformed body, right? If the person has proper intelligence, person would not be interested to be born in a deformed body, disabled body, in a poor family. The person would want to enjoy, right? So for enjoyment, he has to have good body, complete body, and rich family. So this doesn't make logical sense. Also, what the belief system they have in other can say religions, other faiths. Our Sanatan Dharma gives proper explanation that the living beings may have different desires, but whether those desires can be fulfilled in that particular form which is desired by that person, living being, and whether he deserves to be in that form, then only he will get that form. Otherwise, he will be sent to the different forms. 8.4 million species of life. So depending on the person's karma, the person is that soul, spirit soul is sent to that body. And that decision is made by the higher authorities, not by us. Right?
So Acharya ji, in the Swarglok also, the devatas are accumulating good and bad karmas according to their actions. Like, is it there in the Swarglok also, same as here? Or
Yeah,
how is
see,
it there?
yeah, in Swarga Loka, now I tell you, it's a good point you raise. Now I give you example of some, like, if we take, for example, America, many people talk about America. So there are many people who are born in America, so they are American citizens, right? So if they commit any kind of offense, they also will be punished. But supposing somebody wins any lottery or something, any jackpot or something, then the reward is mentioned. Okay, free trip to the US for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the number of days, and everything expenses will be covered because that person won the prize, right? So from India, that person is sent to the US. So whatever duration, according to his reward, is there, he will be allowed to stay there. And after that, he will be sent back to India. So when he goes to that, after the reward is over, then he has to come back to India. And when he sees that local people there, if they commit any kind of offense, they are punished, right? So devatas also, my point I want to make, people who get elevated from the Prithvi Loka to Swarga Loka, at that time, because they are only enjoying the reward, generally they don't get entangled into any karmic creation, generally, unless they make very big big offense. Then whatever balance of reward is there, it is finished. Right? Like we say, sometimes in some countries, some people, they commit some offense. Generally, they have some approval from the government, visa, they can live. But if they commit something, they can be deported. Though their visa is not over yet, the duration of visa is not exhausted yet, but they are deported prematurely because of their some kind of offense. So same way, this kind of analogy I'm sharing with you, that people who get elevated to the Swarga Loka, their punya karma gets exhausted, they come back to the Prithvi Loka. The living beings who are permanently residing there, devatas in Swarga Loka, yes, if they also commit any offense, they fall down. So the karma binds them also. They are also bound by karma. But generally, because their intelligence is more refined than us, they normally don't commit so many offenses. But there are so many instances, for example, Indra has committed so many offenses. Then he's sent to the Earth planet for as a punishment. And after the duration of punishment is over, he goes back. And he enjoys in the Swarga Loka as Indra. But there are many instances that Indra also is punished and is sent to Prithvi Loka as punishment. So the essence is, the summary of your question, the answer I want to give, that yes, even devatas also, they are punished if they commit any offense. I want to share with you this. I have mentioned to you about Indra. Once Indra was cursed to become a pig for certain duration of time because he committed some offense. So he came to the Earth planet in the form of pig. He had a wife, pig wife, so many children. Pigs normally, they have so many children. And in India, you must have seen what kind of life the pigs have. So when his duration of that punishment was over, he did not want to go back to Swarga Loka. Brahma had to come down to tell him, now go and handle your responsibilities in Swarga Loka. You're the king of Swarga Loka. Indra said, no, I'm enjoying here. I have a beautiful wife, very nice children. I get very nice food. We see what kind of food pigs eat, right, in India. But because he was conditioned in that way at that time, and he told Brahma, I'm enjoying it here. I don't want to go to Swarga Loka. Then Brahma had to sprinkle some water from Swarga Loka on his body so that he gets proper sense. Then Indra realized, oh my God, what I'm doing here. Then he went back to Swarga Loka. So there are many instances like that. The devatas, they also, when they commit some offense, they are cursed to fall down, to come to Loka. Does it answer your question, Yashanaji?
Yes, Guruji. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, so Sharmaji, so when we are saying that when Indra is coming down to earth, say as a pig, so there has to be another Indra in the Indralok, or that there's no.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Temporary for temporary period of time, they appoint somebody else. Now see, we are talking about Vidura, right? Now Vidura originally is Yamaraj. When Yamaraj was cursed by Mandukya Muni, then he had to come on the Earth planet for 100 years. So for the duration of 100 years, according to the calculation, according to the time factor on the Earth planet, somebody is appointed there to take charge of Yamaloka as Yamaraj. And it is said that, it is very good point you raised, Vashaji. Each planet has a king in charge, the leader. Like, for example, Surya Loka. The sun god is the king of Surya Loka, of the sun planet. Now, if there is nobody qualified to take charge of the Surya Loka as Surya Dev, then Lord Vishnu himself, Krishna himself, he expands in that form and he takes charge of that planet. Few times it has happened that nobody was qualified to take charge of Surya Loka as sun god. So Lord Narayan himself expanded himself in the form of Surya Dev. So that's why we say Surya Narayan, right? Have you heard that word? We say Surya Narayan Bhagwan. So because Narayan himself expands in the form of Surya Dev. So yes, when Indra became a pig for some time, at that time, as a substitute, Brahma had appointed someone to be the king of the heavenly planets, Swargaloka. That post is not kept vacant. Somebody is appointed there. Somebody has to be there.
So isn't it I mean, anybody can, because this is what I've heard from Maharaji, that Maharaji says, हम सब लोग कई बार हम इंद्र बन चुके हैं. Means every one of us have become an Indra at some point or the other. So हम लोगों ने वो जो, I think they do the yagyas, right? क्या कहते हैं? Ashwamedh yagya करके, and then they
100 Ashwamedh yagya. Yes.
100 Ashwamedh yagya करके वो इंद्र बन जाता है. तो मतलब, so that means anybody and everybody can become Indra, yes, if they fulfill that condition of doing.
Yes, that criteria. Yes. So what to speak of Indra, Varshaji? We can go up to the level of Lord Brahma. A living being can go up to the level of Lord Brahma, but not Shiva. Because Brahma also is a Jiva Tattva. You know, once in the discussion, we talked about different tattvas, different principles. Vishnu Tattva, Shiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva, and Jiva Tattva. So, Vishnu Tattva all in the Vaikuntha planets. Shiva, Lord Shiva is in the Shiva Loka. Shakti also resides with Shiva. So Shakti also is a Tattva. And then Jiva Tattva. So Brahma is Jiva Tattva. Though Lord Shiva in the material world comes in the form of Brahma's son from between the eyebrows of Lord Brahma. But he is not Jiva Tattva. He is a Shiva Tattva. He is above Lord Brahma. So we living beings, Jiva Tattvas, we cannot become Shiva. We can go in the material world, we can go up to the level of Lord Brahma, Brahma Loka. We can go there. And if we advance by doing bhakti, devotional service, then we can go beyond Shiva Loka also. What to speak of Brahma Loka in the Vaikuntha planet. And it is said, you know, not only from here we can go upwards, but actually we come down from there. Originally, it is said that a living being, when he has desire to enjoy without Krishna, away from Krishna, and he wants to enjoy as a ruler, as a master, like Krishna is enjoying in the Golok Vrindavan. So Krishna says in this world, this Loka, Golok Vrindavan, only I am the enjoyer, I am the Purusha. You are supposed to be the part of that enjoyment, right? Your enjoyment relies on my enjoyment. But if you want to enjoy it independently, then you go to the material world. And first time when the Jiva comes here in the material world, he comes in the form of Brahma, because Krishna gives him that highest position of the whole universe. Take charge of the whole universe. And what happens, this also I discussed in one of the sessions, previous sessions, that all these lokas we see, they are round in shape, right? All planets, they are round in shape. They evolve, they revolve around the axis, their own axis, correct? And they revolve around the other planets also. Like all the planets are revolving around the sun planet. Correct? In this universe. So all planets are in round in shape, and they are revolving around their own axis. I gave this analogy, if someone remembers that, to refresh your memory. If we take a big bowl or big pot, round pot, we fill that pot with water, and we stir this water with a wooden stick, and then we put some small pieces of paper in that, or small light particles inside. So what happens when we stir that water with the stick? It creates in the center, it creates some centrifugal force, like भंवर के जैसा होता है ना बीच में. The water is going round and round in the pot, and in the middle we see the centrifugal force. So whatever light particles we put in the water, they sink inside. They go at the bottom. जब भी कोई भंवर में फंस जाता है, if somebody gets stuck in the whirlpool and in the water in a big river or big part of the ocean, so what happens is that whirlpool would push that person down to the bottom, right? वो डूब जाएगा ना व्यक्ति. So all these this whole creation is called Bhava Sagar. Sagar means water, right? So we are going in this round and round. All planets are moving in this way, and they are creating the whirlpool. Overall, the whole material creation is creating the whirlpool, and we are going down and down. Instead of ascending, advancing upwards, we are descending. We are going down and down. We are degrading. And this example I had given you, that if somebody gets stuck in the whirlpool, any whirlpool, no matter how skillful that person is as a swimmer, he may know different tricks to swim and all that, maybe expert swimmer. If he makes an attempt to be free from the whirlpool by his swimming skills, he will go further down. The water will push him further down. The best way to be free from that whirlpool is just raise the arms, surrender. So when the person raises the arms, he keeps body straight, the water itself will throw him out from the whirlpool. So when we surrender to the Supreme Person, the Maya Devi, who is Krishna's servant, Krishna's Aya, that Aya will say you are useless, in this world. आपका कोई यहाँ पे काम नहीं, निकलो यहाँ से बाहर. The person gets liberated. This analogy is very easy for us to make us understand how these things work. So surrender is very important. If we try to manipulate the energy of Krishna through our jnana, whatever knowledge we have, out of our arrogance, we are so learned, we have so much knowledge of the scriptures, we manipulate, we won't succeed. Unless we develop the mood of surrender. That submissiveness is a prerequisite for the spiritual progress. Our knowledge cannot help us on our own. So that submissive nature, humility, is very essential for advancing on the spiritual path. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Right?
Fantastic.
Any question here?
Acharya ji, I wanted to ask you कि though it's not related to the present this thing, but beginning में आपने कहा था कि कृष्ण जी के लिए जैसे कि रामचंद्र जी का साकेत है और इनका, तो शिव जी के लोग जो प्रे करते हैं उनके लिए कौन सा लोक है?
शिवलोक ना?
शिवलोक.
हाँ. जो शिवलोक का जो रिजेम्बलेंस है यहाँ पे पृथ्वीलोक पे, वो कैलाश. Right? So that is शिवलोक.
थैंक यू. मैंने कहा बाकी सबका आपने बताया तो इनके बारे में पूछना चाह रही थी.
हाँ, शिवलोक, शिवाजी का अपना स्वयं का लोक है, शिवलोक, जहाँ पे शिव तत्व और शक्ति तत्व दोनों रहते हैं. शक्ति तत्व जो पार्वती, पार्वती, दुर्गा,
हाँ जी,
वो शिवलोक में विराजमान है. They reside in शिवलोक.
Thank you so much.
Any other question? before we proceed?
Uh,
So, since nobody has any questions, so we proceed now. So what I was saying that Vidura, when he asked him, he asks on behalf of all of us. Said that, we are trying to be happy in this material world, working hard day and night, accumulating material objects, material wealth, thinking that this can give us happiness. But does it actually help us to be happy? Big bank balance can make us feel happy.
Temporary happiness. Not
Temporary, yes,
happiness.
temporary, right? In one of the sessions, I mentioned about the 4 basic miseries of this material world. Nobody wants them, everybody gets them. Nobody is desirous of having those 4 types of miseries, but nobody can escape. As long as we are in this material world, we are inflicted. These 4 miseries are imposed on us. We cannot escape. उसमें से कोई छुटकारा नहीं है. तो ये 4 प्रकार की जो व्याधि है, वो कौन सी व्याधि है? 4 types of miseries. Anyone?
For good.
Birth, death, disease, and the fourth one.
Absolutely.
Birth, death, disease, and
Janma,
Fourth one.
Mrityu,
Jara Vyadhi.
Jara,
Jara,
Vyadhi. Correct. Yes. Jara is old age.
Okay,
Vyadhi is
old age.
disease, right? So Janma, Mrityu, birth, death, Jara, old age, Vyadhi, disease. So birth, death, old age, and disease. These are the 4 miseries of the material world. Nobody wants them, but everybody gets. Whoever is born in this material world, he has to go through these things, right? The person advances slowly, gradually, attains old age, and then in young age also people, they experience diseases, illnesses. So these are the main miseries. In Shastras, it is not mentioned COVID-19 is a misery. It is just a symptom. It's kind of such a small thing compared to the big miseries, right?
That falls
also-
under the
Yes.
category of disease, no? COVID
Yes,
or
yes.
pandemics or whatever. So they fall under the category of disease.
Yes, you are right, Vashadi. So I want to ask you, this also we discussed in that session when I talked about these 4 miseries. Now we can understand death, old age, and disease. These is easy to understand, these are miseries. But why birth?
दुखालय.
हाँ?
दुखालय. बर्थ लेंगे तो this whole भूलोक is दुखालय basically.
हाँ, लेकिन जब भी देखिए किसी का जन्म होता है, किसी के परिवार में छोटे बच्चे का जन्म होता है, तो वो तो खुशियां मनाते हैं ना.
Right.
But while they are born, there is so much pain. While they are born, and then when they are in the womb, they are hung upside down.
Absolutely.
The baby is hung upside down. So that 9 months that child stays in the womb upside down, it's already a misery.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
even when they are born, there's so much pain.
Yes. So it is misery for the person who is in the womb and who is taking birth, but not people around them, around that person. Now, why people celebrate birthdays? If it's a misery, if a new baby is born in a family, people celebrate, right? So why do people celebrate? See, because it's a misery, that's why whoever is born at the time of birth, the babies cry, right? Now, the person in the small baby form, as you very rightly said, Vashali, thank you for that. The person is upside down in the womb. He feels very miserable, very painful. If the mother eats any pungent, any spicy food and all that, it causes the pain or the baby in the womb. And he prays to Krishna, please take me off from this Kumbhi Park, hellish planet, like Kumbhi Park. And I promise to you that once I am out, by your mercy, I will always remember you. So when the person is born, because it's so much misery, right? Now, in the womb, the situation is very miserable. Now, if the person is free from that miserable situation, the person should be happy, right? But so far, till today's date, not a single baby, when the baby is born, the baby laughs. Oh, I'm free from that Kumbhi Park hellish planet. After birth, also baby cries. And if any baby doesn't cry, the doctor or the nurse will slap the baby, make the baby cry. Right? This is the nature of the material world. See, from these examples, we understand actually the people around us. I'm not talking about anybody, but this is a general thing, what is mentioned in the scriptures. People around us, they cause so much pain. They cause so much distress. And this is evident from the newborn baby. If the baby is not crying, just slap the baby and make the baby cry. Because of the envy people have, they cannot tolerate seeing other people in a comfortable situation. This is a natural human psychology. Again, I'm saying that it's a general thing, not some people are exceptional who feel happy when they see other people happy. Saintly people, they do that, but common people, they're not like that. So this is what Krishna says, this is the nature of the material world. People, this also, when we talk about Vyadi, there are three different kind of causes of Vyadi. Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Atmik. Correct? Adi Daivik means the miseries which are caused by the planetary system, the nature. All of a sudden, there is typhoon, supposing. So these are the Vyadi, these are the miseries caused by the higher authorities, higher planets. That is Adi Daivik. Adi Bhautik, the miseries which are caused by people around us, our family members, our neighbors, our so-called friends, they also cause miseries. And Adi Atmik, our own body and mind, they become also the cause of misery. When our body has any weakness, any disease, we feel miserable. When we have anxiety at the mental level, we feel miserable, right? So coming back to that point, I said when a new baby is born, people celebrate the baby's birthday. Baby's birth is celebrated by the family members. So very nice analogy is given by Vaishnavas that this whole material world is like a prison house. It's like Durga. Durga means prison house. Durga means fort also, and Durga means prison house also. And the superintendent of this material world is Durga. She's like a prisoner, in charge of this whole material creation, of this whole prison house. So in the prison house, supposing there are criminals who are going through some punishment in the house, and if they see comes to the prison house, so they will enjoy, right? और आ गया हमारे साथ, हमारा साथ बटाने के लिए, दुख भोगने के लिए आ गया. So that's why when a new baby is born, the family members who are already there in the prison house, they celebrate. Oh, एक और आ गया हमारे साथ दुख भोगने के लिए. इसका साथ हमें मिलेगा दुख भोगने के लिए, या तो इसका साथ मिलेगा हमें दुख भोगने के लिए, या तो उसे दुखी करके हम सुख अनुभव कर सकते हैं. That's why they celebrate. This is the example given by Vaishnavas. Why people celebrate when a new baby is born in the family. एक और आ गया. हाँ, जैसे जैसे कारागृह में होता है ना, एक और कैदी आ गया कारागृह में, तो पहले वाले जो कैदी होते हैं वो खुशी मनाते हैं, और जब भी वो छूट के जाता है कोई भी कैदी तो दुख मनाते हैं, दे रोते हैं. So that what's happened when somebody dies, people they cry. Very seldom, it's very important point I'm mentioning, I'm saying here. Very seldom people genuinely feel grieved, feel sad and cry when anybody leaves the world. Very seldom. सबको अपने अपने दुख की याद करके रोना आता है, बाकी वो व्यक्ति के लिए रोना नहीं आता. हाँ, व्यक्ति जो उनकी सहायता करता था, whatever the work was done by that person, because of that work, people will feel sad and then they will cry, but not about that person. They will not feel the separation of the person because there's so much affection, so much love for that person. Very seldom. I'm not sure whether you will relate to what I'm saying. It makes sense to you or not, I'm not sure, but that's the fact of life. जब भी किसी की मृत्यु होती है, तो जो उसके सगे संबंधी भी होते हैं, वो वास्तव में क्यों रोते हैं? ऐसा नहीं कि वो उनको इतना स्नेह था उसके लिए, इतना अनुराग था, इतना प्रेम था उसके लिए, इसलिए वो रहे. नहीं, वो कितने काम का व्यक्ति था, मेरे लिए ये काम करता था, वो काम करता था, अभी कौन करेगा? तो वो सब बातें विचार करके व्यक्ति को रोना आता है. Again, I'm saying that it is not applicable to everyone, but generally it is the case in this material world, because in the scriptures it is said that because this whole world is temporary, so the relationships, feelings amongst the people also for each other is temporary. That's the reason today, suppose we are useful to someone, we are helping someone, that person will admire, will appreciate us, will praise us. वो गुणगान करेंगे. थोड़ी सी उसके विरुद्ध कुछ काम कर लो, you just go against little bit against that person's desire, देखो कितनी बुराई होती है, right? So love and affection, even hatred also is temporary. We may hate somebody today, but tomorrow we may like that person. Situation changes. That's why Krishna said this world is temporary. The activities in the world also very temporary. Life of people also is very temporary. Life of living beings and the life of happiness and hatred also, happiness and distress is temporary. जैसे धूप और छांव होती है, जैसे शीत ऋतु और ग्रीष्म ऋतु होती है. Winter, cold weather and the hot weather. So everything is temporary in this material world. So Vidura is asking these questions from Maitreya Muni just to set that that platform, so that he can ask him very serious questions after that. So first he is asking questions which are very common, applicable to everybody. Then he puts forward a question which he wanted to ask personally, which he was curious about to know, right? So from this we can understand, when we go and surrender ourselves to someone who is like guru for us, suppose we say that that person is guru. So from Vidura's incident we can understand that how one should ask question from his guru or her guru in a very submissive manner, not in a challenging manner. There is a difference between guru shishya and teacher and student. Nowadays students, the way they ask questions from the teachers, not in a submissive way, very challenging way. But शिष्य के अंदर शिष्टाचार होना चाहिए, proper etiquette has to be there. disciple. So he should be very disciplined. And he should be very submissive in front of his guru when he wants to ask some questions. Cannot ask questions from guru in a very challenging way. And we will keep on discussing about this, very interesting, so many things we can learn from the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya, Rishi Maitreya. So we'll continue in our next session from here. Before we conclude today, any questions?
Anyone want to ask any question? You can unmute and then ask. नहीं मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चन तो नहीं, लेकिन एक सिमिलर चीज है जो आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि ये भी कौरवास थे, कौरव सारे, वो भी तो देवता ही थे। देवता, अभी हम यही तो जिक्र कर रहे थे कि देवता लोग जमीन पे आकर के उन्होंने कभी 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 देवता लोग जमीन पे भी जन्म लेते हैं, अर्थ पे भी। तो आई थिंक ऑल द कौरवास, ये सब भी तो देवता ही थे।
नहीं, Kauravas, they were not demigods, not everybody. See,
Okay.
when you focus on the incident when the Devatas, they went at the show of Shir Sagara, ocean of milk, praying to Lord Vishnu, Purusha Shukta से उन्होंने प्रार्थना की भगवान विष्णु को कि इतना संकट बढ़ गया पृथ्वी लोक में, इतने दुराचारी लोग आ गए हैं पृथ्वी लोक में, पाप बढ़ गया है, the sin has increased on the planet, and Mother Earth is feeling so much of burden of these sinful activities. So please come and liberate Mother Earth and help the demigods. So then celestial sound, आकाशवाणी हुई थी तभी। तो देवताओं को निर्देश मिला कि आप यदुवंश में जाके जन्म लीजिए और वृंदावन में जाके ग्वालों के रूप में जन्म लीजिए, और भगवान स्वयं आने वाले हैं, वो भगवान कृष्ण स्वयं आने वाले हैं वसुदेव और देवकी के पुत्र के रूप में, और यशोदा और नंद बाबा के पुत्र के रूप में। तो जो यदुवंशी हैं, शूरसेन के, और जो भोजा जो किंग था, तो उनके जो वंशज हैं वो देवता थे, नॉट कौरवस। कौरवस के विषय में शास्त्रों में उल्लेख नहीं है कि वो पहले देवता थे और उनको ऐसे निर्देश मिले थे भगवान के कि वो आके कौरव कुल में जन्म ले, नहीं, वो they were living beings, human beings, not devatas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comment or any question?
No.
People are quiet.
Sharma ji, would you like to talk about your upcoming Ayurveda, fundamentals of Ayurveda? I can share the flyer here and you can just talk about it. Just give everybody an idea what that class is about.
Sure. Yes, I can do
Yeah,
that.
Shagundala ji, can I share the flyer?
Yes, you can. You
Just give me,
co-host, you can easily.
yeah, just give me a second, please. Sorry, just a second. Okay. Right. Oh.
So yes, this
Just a second.
I'm really thankful to Varsha ji, her initiative in this regard also. She started this group, WhatsApp group.
Can you see this?
Yes,
clearly?
yes, perfectly.
No, I think Yeah, now because I think the rest of the class is being seen. Just a second. Let me. Mhm. Not able to show the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to share it in the group, this flyer,
Okay.
just to, yeah, just to show you
Yes.
this flyer. So we've made this flyer. Yeah.
Yes. So we started a WhatsApp group. Varshadi initiated that.
Mhm.
Those who are very enthusiastic to learn about Ayurveda and about yoga also. So they put their questions on that platform in that group, and I try to reply to their questions as elaborately as possible so that they can understand the essence of that subject. So then we discussed about it, that why don't we start the Zoom classes so people they can join and live if they want to ask some questions they can ask, and if I'm able to reply to their questions, I will be happy to do that. So in that regard, we are starting this first batch of 4 classes starting from next week, 3rd of May. So it's a good place to start every Wednesday. So please, if you are interested, please join us live. And if you have some questions, you can also ask during that session. You can ask questions relating to health, and I will do my best to reply to your questions, your queries from whatever limited knowledge I have. So please, I welcome you. If you are interested to please come and join us from next Wednesday. The timing is in India, I think it is 6:30 onwards, 6:30 to 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And those who are in Hong Kong or in this area, Southeast Asia, so it is from 9 to 10:30. Yes.
Good. Thank you. It's a wonderful opportunity, I think. Wow.
Yeah, so we will share this flyer in the group, and yeah.
Mm.
Yes. So we conclude today's session.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
so
everyone.
much.
Thank you
For
so much,
participating.
Acharya. It was wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Very much.
Acharya.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhe
Hare
Radhe.
Krishna.
Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe.